ni hao, xin dao, whatever else your greeting of choice may be from Shanghai, China. All being well, this week should be week 1 of a new marathon training block. Whether or not this ends in me actually running a marathon is still very much up in the air. But usually, sticking out the training alone is challenge enough to keep things interesting. While the runs themselves may not vary hugely from week to week, I still thought it'd be nice to check in from time to time and just run through what I do in training. Starting, as you might expect, with a typical Monday. And for me, a typical Monday is a rest day. For my first year or two of serious running, I was a big fan of running 7 days a week. But last year, I started scheduling regular rest days. While I'm still not 100% sold on the idea, it is nice from a lifestyle point of view to have the odd day off. Tuesdays for me are workout days. I like to do my workout days as double run days. So I'll do one longer, easier run in the morning, and then either at lunchtime or in the evening, I'll do my harder workout. That's the morning run out of the way. 16k, just under an hour and a half. Kept it all in zone 2, exactly where we wanted to be. So we should still have enough fuel in the tank for our workout later today. Not much else to say. Now it's time for a brief interlude while I cook lunch. Hey there, still Tuesday. We're out here for the second run of the day. The plan for this one is 12 times 90 seconds at about 3:40 pace with 90 seconds walk recovery in between. In theory, it shouldn't be too taxing. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel, having not really done a lot of speed work in, I guess, since the end of last year. Anyway, I better get started. I'll check in after a few reps. All right, that's 6 laps down, so we're halfway through. Apart from the first one, which I'm not 100% sure about, I think all of the others have been a bit faster than target pace. But I'm feeling all right, actually. I feel like I can keep going at this intensity and get to the end fairly easily. Yeah, form's felt fine, everything's been kind of smooth, so I don't think going a little bit too fast is that much of an issue. I think we'll make it to the end of this one. I'll report back in after 6 more. All right, all 12 reps done. Like I say, I think apart from the first one, I'm pretty sure they were all under 3:40 pace. The first one I think might have been as well, but I'm not really sure. I didn't see the time when I hit lap. Felt all right. I'd like to say I feel like I could do a couple more, but I think that was probably the best place to stop. Form stayed all right to the end. Lungs feel all right. Left knees feeling a little bit iffy. That's a sort of long-term, low-level problem that I've been dealing with, and it certainly doesn't feel properly injured. Pretty happy with that all around. It's a nice little return to speed work. I'll try and get the times up on the screen for when this video goes out, and now all I really got to do is do a little cool down jog home, get ready for bed, and more running tomorrow. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So I got home after my speed session last night, and I did indeed go far too fast, so well done me on the pacing. Typically, Wednesday for me would be a medium long run day. So I do a single run of about 16 to 20, depending on how I'm feeling and depending on where I am in my training. However, this weekend I'm going to Nanjing to run the Nanjing trail race and the 18k group. And while intensity-wise, difficulty-wise, time-wise, it's probably the same as a decent long run anyway, I'm a bit of a sucker for the hard numbers, so I wanted to get in a sort of 20-something long run during the week. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, which would usually be my threshold day, but I don't schedule threshold for the first 4 weeks of marathon training, so it's all sort of worked out all right. And that means today I'm just going to try and do an easy double. So I've just done 8k. I was aiming for 10, but feeling a bit bleh, so cut it short, which is fine. Anyway, I'm here at Tianshan Park at the moment, which is somewhere I've never been before, which I thought I'd check out to see if it was worth bringing Felix to for one of our playtime adventure afternoons. And honestly, it looks pretty nice. All right, it's Thursday. Oh boy, where do I begin? So if you remember yesterday, I said I was planning on doing a second easy run in the evening. Well, that never happened. See, that park I visited and said would be a nice place to come back with Felix, well, we were planning on going back there, but just as we were getting ready, he sprinted off towards the living room. Unfortunately, he tripped up and went forehead first into the wall. It might be a slight exaggeration to say he split his head open, but he gave himself a very nasty gash. And we ended up spending most of yesterday afternoon and yesterday evening in the hospital getting him stitched up. It's one of those things that you never really think about when you become a parent, but you're there 1 minute playing with them and everything's smiles and happiness, and then suddenly you're pinning their arms down with your elbows while you clamp their head in place so a complete stranger can stick needles into their forehead. And obviously it's something that we had to do, but like in the moment when you're there, you just feel like an absolutely terrible person. So yeah, sorry to start the day on a downer, but that was kind of the end to our day yesterday, and honestly it was awful. Because of that, we've also decided to cancel our trip to Nanjing this weekend, and so I will no longer be running the Nanjing trail race, which on a personal level I'm absolutely gutted about. But then at the same time, it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to go through the stress and hassle of traveling when we've got to make sure that Felix is safe and nothing else happens to his wound. But anyway, he's in good spirits. He doesn't seem any worse for wear right now, so we'll just have to see how his wound heals up in the next few days, and hopefully it won't leave too big of a scar. So I said yesterday that my run for today was scheduled to be a long run. Now that I'm no longer going to Nanjing, I can do a standard Sunday long run, and so there's no real need for me to try and go long today to make up for any sort of distance that I might otherwise have lacked. And because of that, I've decided to just take today as I normally would, as a medium long run. I'm aiming to run about 18 kilometers, and as part of that I might throw in about 20 minutes of threshold work towards the end. Alright, just past 12k in, I'm just going to try and do one straight block of tempo. 20 minutes, go off feel rather than pace, and I'll see you at the other side. Alright, that's one more Jackie D special in the bag. Paces range from about 4:10 to 4:15, which is alright, nothing too intense, about where I feel like I should be. All in all, felt pretty good. Nothing too serious planned for today. Just going to do a 16k easy run this afternoon. Keep it nice and easy, keep it nice and slow, just adding some mileage to the week. Hello and happy Sunday everyone. Now you may be thinking, Sunday? Wait a second, what happened to Saturday? To which my response would be, indeed, what did happen to Saturday? Yesterday we headed out as a family to Changbang Park so I could record a video where I attempted a 2k time trial, all while doing my best to try and improve on what may well be my one and only current Strava course record. Now, because the plan was, and still is, to make that into its own video, I didn't do too much recording as part of this week in training. However, I did tell myself that I needed to record a 10-20 second little segment explaining what I was doing so I could put it into this video. Needless to say, I forgot. So just to recap what happened with that, I did a bit of a warm-up, ran my lap, about 2.2k around the park, and then a little cool down for about 6k in total. And that segues reasonably well into my goals for today. So my plan with this long run is to get a minimum 26k, a maximum, if unlikely, of 32k. The priority here really is just to get some nice long time in on feet at an easy pace and try and build up that aerobic endurance. Just having to stop and rest for a sec. Seeing as we're doing a typical week in the life, I guess it's quite apt that yeah, today is one of those runs where I don't think it's the legs or the lungs that are going to limit how far I go, and more likely the bowels, which is annoyingly quite typical of running. Alright, little update that you probably don't want, but I'm cutting this one short and heading home before things get messy. And I'm gonna have to try and see if I can't make up some of the mileage. Do like a 24k long run if I can, once everybody else has gone to bed. The life of a runner. Okay, so never really want to have to abort a run, but lemonading this, at least this means I can stop off and take a look at this little riverside market that I passed just before I had to stop. See if there's anything that I can't pick up for Felix on the way back. 那我还是买一下这个吧。95元。啊，好的。好了。好，谢谢。Gonna get in trouble for this. The missus is gonna be like, we don't need any more stuff. Gotta move country soon. But, you know, I mean, look at it. So cute. Hi there, voiceover Tommy here. Just a quick little update to say I did indeed manage to get out and complete my long run once the stars were out and everybody else was in bed. In the end, I added another 21 kilometers with a few 1 kilometer blocks at marathon tempo thrown in at the end. So that was week 1 of my latest marathon training block. It was a fairly light week for me, running 101 kilometers in total. And in many ways, it turned out to be a very atypical training week. I mean, I'd already planned to do it slightly differently to how I would do a normal training week because of the race. But even then, what with Felix's accident, a lot of things got cancelled and moved around. Personally, I quite enjoyed doing this format, and so I plan to check in again in another 4 weeks for week 5 marathon training. Hopefully, I'll see you then.